For decades, our inner cities were in crisis. Urban blight, foreclosed homes, crime, food deserts, lack of education, transportation, and recreation have wreaked havoc on the population that lives there. And yet, we haven't come up with a sustainable solution that's had any lasting change. But there's a story to tell in Kansas City that the country may need to hear.
The story of our neighborhood includes a story of transition and population changes. I did recently some population studies on our county, Wyandotte County, and discovered some interesting statistics that speak into this dynamic. And first of all, from 1980 to 2017, our county lost a net total of 57,000 white residents. That's about 1/3 of the population of our county, and that's a pretty significant amount. You can imagine if a county loses 1/3 of its population, what you might expect economically. Houses vacant, businesses closing, schools closing, loss of tax revenue. But interestingly, that's not what has happened in our neighborhood.
We're one of the most diverse communities in the entire nation. Only Broward County, Florida, and Wyandotte County have this statistic in common, that we have no ethnic majority, and all three major ethnic groups are above 25%. So we're about 42% Anglo, about 28% Latino, and about 26% African American, with a growing Asian population as well. Our largest school district has 68 languages spoken. I can't even name 68 languages, but we have that much diversity in our community.
Who are immigrants? Why are they here? Do they matter? These are questions being thrown around our current cultural moment. However, the answer might be right next door to all of us, and we never even knew it.
I think we are taking away opportunities, jobs. That's what I was once told. After college, looking for a job and being undocumented, that I was taking jobs.
Or even this idea that they're lazy and all these things, and there's constant banter back and forth between two different camps. They're taking our jobs. Well, they're taking jobs that like nobody wants, things like that. But I think it's because we have this picture of one type of immigrant.
Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of contributing factors that have created this fear between the immigrants and the general population, I believe. Media, of course, is one of them. Anything that happens and an immigrant is involved, it's glorified in a negative way. And that's unfortunate because there's so many other immigrants that have come to the United States that have made positive impacts on our community. So therefore, I think that sometimes the surrounding communities have this fear because of everything they're being fed, whether by their parents, by the way they were brought up, or by the media, by what they read on the internet. So along with that majority, you're gonna continue to get that fear. And whenever you have that fear and they start classifying immigrants as criminals or bad people or illegal aliens.
In my country, I never felt that I was different, that even a difference can exist. Here, sometimes I needed to face even the way that people look at me, and they can define me like different like them. I have been sad sometimes in the beginning when I needed to just start to dealing with this kind of perspective. For me, was tough because I started to realize that people can see me like inferior from them, and that was never in my mind about myself.
One of the national narratives regarding immigrants and refugees has to do with crime and security. A lot of times when we talk about immigration these days, we focus on undocumented immigration, but in our situation, and as is true across the country in different cities, there's quite a mix. Immigrants come from different places, have different immigration statuses, and when we look at the statistics, all of those are included together.
Do we have crime committed by undocumented people? Yes. It's such a small percentage of our overall crime. To say that the undocumented are the ones causing the crime in our community is really a fallacy.
I went to the Kansas Bureau of Investigation website and looked up crime statistics for Wyandotte County, And period from 2003 to 2017, when we were seeing such an influx of people coming from other countries into our city, the crime rate in Wyandotte County dropped by 32%. That's pretty dramatic.
Some of us are avoiding this kind of like attitude, Maybe people are thinking that we are maybe the burden, but still we want to avoid that. We want to work. We want to work and we want to show them we are human beings. We'll make it happen. We'll have this government, and we're not gonna show any different attitude like the other people they saw us. We just want it to be a good example.
By my work, I feel that I see I'm American because I work so hard every day. That is why I feel I'm American.
The American dream and immigrants, this is what the United States it's all about. Immigrants and their dreams.
What I admire about other immigrants is that I think they have a feisty spirit, because being here with such huge difference between the culture, between the way we value time, the way we value the families, is like, wow, you have to be feisty.
And I believe this country is the great country of the world. All of us who came to this country to make it better.
So are immigrants a burden on our community? Well, from what I've seen with my own eyes, actually immigrants are driving a lot of the economic growth that's happening in our neighborhood. So on Central Avenue, about half of the businesses are owned by immigrants. In addition to that, the Kauffman Index of Entrepreneurial Activity shows that immigrants are twice as likely as native-born Americans to start new businesses. The New American Economy shows that 1 in 5 entrepreneurs in the United States is an immigrant, and immigrants provide 8 million jobs for Americans.
In Kansas City, Kansas, we see people going to school together, working together, living together, a net positive for our community. We have 4,500 vacant houses in our community. If we didn't have the immigrant population we have right now, we would have a lot more vacant homes.
And so it's going to be one big circle. Not only are they living among us, they're contributing to our taxes, they're building, they're carpenters, they're roofers, they're plumbers, they're laborers. Once they make the money, they spend it, and it's just one big circle.
Along Central Avenue, there's a ton of businesses that are run by Hispanics. Most of them immigrants. It's amazing to see how they can thrive. They just work hard and they have goals and they start up businesses.
I drive down Central Avenue and see the number of restaurants that we have that are terrific places to eat. I see the grocery stores. I see the various businesses that people are doing. Buildings being fixed up. I see houses being fixed up. You go to our schools and you have kids learning and thriving and contributing.
As I think about our community, I am dreaming of a place where people from all places are thriving and using our gifts together, where we're working together to transform our community. And in so many ways, I see that happening already.
The question that remains is, will we be welcoming? Will we embrace individuals and families and business proprietors that are creating good in our communities? What would it look like to lay down fear and pick up curiosity towards the other? What would that change? According to the Library of Congress, the American dream is a national ethos of the United States. A set of ideals in which freedom includes the opportunity for prosperity and success, as well as an upward social mobility for the family and children achieved through hard work in a society with few barriers. And in the definition of the American dream by James Truslow Adams in 1931, he said life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability or achievement, regardless of social class or circumstances of birth. Now that's something we can all fight for.